Welcome to Yeshiva Daf. Shir sponsor Lu Nishma Sarmak Shalom Le'Abba Sitzchok. We're holding Metzia Daf Samechtes. We started at Samechtes with base on the bottom. So we just learned, we got through the two dots. Where we're talking about the sugi of Iska. What is Iska? Person Reuben gives money to Shimon. He tells him 50% of the money is a loan. You're responsible to give it back to me. The other 50%, you're my worker. You're going to try to do for me a profit. If you make money, that profit goes to me. You lose money, that 50% loss is on me. So we learned that that's considered to be okay, because the 50% of the profit that you're giving to the lender, because he is responsible, he has a loss as well. That's not a loan, so there's no ribis over here. But still, we learned that the fact that the borrower is working and making the sale for the lender, so the lender has to give him something for that. Because if not, it's ribis. Why is he working for him? He's working for him because of the loan. So he has to get something for it. What does he have to give? We have a machlekes. And Rabbi Yehuda says even giving tovel mo batzil, even a little bit of food is good enough. So he said, Rabbi Yehuda. The son of Rabbi Yehuda said, we talk about a case, they gave him the juice of the milk, like the water of the milk, and a little bit leftovers of the wool. It's good enough as well. And Gamliel said that galolim, the feces of the animal, is good. So that's what most Allah, like all them, that just a minimal amount of payment is good enough. It says now the Gemara. The sons of Rav Elish got a shtar from their father that it said there, Palgo be'ogor, Palgo be'efset. What is Palgo be'ogor, Palgo be'efset? It means we're talking about you have 50% that the borrower will make a profit on it, and 50% that he's responsible for the loss, which means he needs to give back to the lender. It's a loan. So Omar Rovo, Rav Elish, Gavarabu, Ve'isuro le'inshi lo'avasafi. Rav Elish is a great person. Is a Gavarabu, is a big person. He will never do it just a 50-50 on this, and without a payment from the lender to the borrower. As we mentioned, if you don't pay the lender to the borrower, it's a problem of ribis. So definitely Rav Elish gave something to the borrower. What did he give? Says the Gemara, Manavshach. Either the pshat is, Palgo be'ogor trei tili be'efset, half with profit, 2/3 and half set. We'll see in a moment Rashi's inside. Or the Samachtas Amudalef, Ipalga be'afset, trei tilti be'ogor, or half of half set and 2/3 in ogor. Let's see Rashi. So Rashi, Ipalga yitena noisen be'agro, ha'yikabel alav achrayos ha'efset yoiser mimachatzitz kigon trei tilti. So if 50%, the noisen gets the profit. The giver, Reuven, gets the profit. So then there's 2/3 of hefsed, which means a loan. Sorry, 2/3 he gets a chayas on his own, which means 2/3 he will have a loss. Reuven gives money to Shimon. He says to Shimon, if there's any loss, 2/3 is on me. I take the loss. I eat up the loss 2/3. Only 1/3 he's responsible for. But he's taking the profit of a half. Maybe he's taking more than a third. Meaning, the problem always is, if you do 50-50, so the borrower is taking care of the money of the lender with no compensation. So no, here we do like this. Really, you're responsible only for 1/3. 1/3 is a loan. You have to give it back. The other 2/3 belongs to the lender. But he's going to take only 50% of the profit. He's more responsible for loss than profit. The loss is 2/3 on him. The profit is only 50% him. That extra profit that goes to Rav Elish is his compensation. So that's option number one. Pal Geboger, 50% of profit goes to Rav Elish. And trade and 2/3 of the hefsed goes to Rav Elish. So the borrower has a compensation. Or, now we go to the other option, Pal Geboger, Titul Geboger. Or 50% hefsed, meaning if the lender, Rav Elish, will lose 50% if there is a loss, he gets trade tilti be'ogor, he gets 2/3 of reward the borrower. Let's see Rashi. Said the Kasub Shtar, Hakikov. That's what it means. The word. We're trying to explain the words of the Shtar. In Yirtz Rav Elish, he told trade tilti be'ogor. Rav Elish will take 2/3 of reward. ויקפל עליו חצי ההפסד. דאיכא שכר המולר במאי דשוקל תפי באגרו, מה שמגיע לחלק פלגו דמילב. Right? Meaning, he's going to take on himself. There is a 50%. In Yetzer Vilish, he'll take 2/3 in reward, meaning 2/3 he gets the profit, but he gets on himself half of the hefset. What's the schar amol? What's the borrower? What does he gain pay for? He's taking more in profit. He is responsible for 50%, right? To give to Rav Elish, 50% is responsible, but he's not getting only a half of profit, he's getting 2/3 of profit. So we're playing around with the words because it says palgo and palgo. So either he means palgo be'ogor to Rav Elish, or he means palgo be'efset to Rav Elish. And the 2/3, and then the other person, he's always getting more compensation than what he's responsible for. That's the hikarin in here. Today's here discusses when can he do that. Does he have a choice? He can choose which one of the Lashonis and the Shnayim wants to do. So how does that make sense? He's going to see. If there's a loss, he's going to say, the loss is on you. If there's a profit, he says the profit is on me. So Today's says maybe there's a time limit where he needs to make that decision. Then Today's wants to say maybe there's a different Lashon that's mentioned. He brings the Rach, and it says, Palga ba'ago ve'efset. So the palga can either go on the agar or on the efset, and the Gemara is playing around with it. But the main point here is to say that there is compensation to the borrower. I said the Shmuel to Razvid. Formerly, maybe Rav Elish did with his borrower? He gave him some food. He gave him a little bread to dip to dip. Because we learn Rav Yehuda holds, you don't have to give a big compensation. We didn't see halachos like Rav Yehuda. Ela shitei. Shita means there's three opinions that go in the same shita, the same direction. Rav Yehuda, Rav Yosef, Rav Yehuda, and Rav Shimon Gamliel. Hachanami said it makes sense. He's not just saying shita. It's not just teaching us that they're going in the same opinion. But they're saying that halacha like these three shitas. Why do you have to say Why do you have to say all three? Just say halacha Rav Yehuda, and we know if halacha is like Rav Yehuda, which he says even small food, a little bit of milk and wool, that's a shir Rav Yehuda, Rav Yosef Rav Yehuda, and feces like a shir Gamliel. So the fact that he says all three means not halacha like him, it's just the shita. Meaning I'm just saying that all three in the go same shita. Omarav, moita shlish b'schocha raise a motor. So a person gives the money to his friend to take care of it. He says, if the profit, that's what Rashi wants, if the profit's going to be more than a third, that's yours. We split the profits, but if you do more than 33% profit, that goes to you. That's good enough. That is compensation. What happens if he can't make a 33% profit? He made only 25%. He's not getting anything for his work. You have to give him some money which is designated for his compensation. Says the Gemara, Rav ain't Rav holds that dinner is not good enough. What's the ratio you do? You give the head for the potom. Potom is someone who takes care of the animal. Look at Lashon Rashi. Person is responsible to feed the animal. Lemachtzis haroish, right? So lemachtzis, for half, he gets 50% of the profit. Haroish shitul kol he takes the head for himself. That's his reward. The head. That's how they divide it. So he holds that the reish agel goes to Vitum. My love domo le mortar shlish b'schocha. Now more understand. Let's talk about the similar case. He said, if you make profit more than 30%, it's yours. And in addition, he still has to give him something, the head. So he gives them a choice. You can either make money by making a big profit, or you take a fixed amount. That's a Rav thought. If I say when you say that, you only say that if the guy who's working, who's the worker, he has his own animal to take care of. The Army, people say, Govil letoire. Govil means to prepare food. Prepare food for one ox, or prepare food for a few oxen, it's the same amount of work. It's the same amount of tircha. So because anyway you're doing it for yourself, so then you could do it for your friend as well. That's why you don't have to have such a big compensation. Giving you something more than a third of profit is yours. that's good enough. But if there's only one animal, you don't say that. Sisters, why not? Even if there's one animal, they're doing 50% division. So he has to work for his own animal too. Sisters, if they're shutfim, if they're partners, if they're real partners, so they should divide also the work. I do 50% of the work, you do 50% of the work. If I'm doing the entire work, I need to get more compensated. But if I have my own animal anyway, I'm doing your animal, getting something, even something small is good enough. So the Elazar bought an animal. He gave it to an Aris, right? A sharecropper, someone's going to work for him. This sharecropper fed the animal, and then he shechted. He did give him the head as his reward, as his compensation, as we mentioned before. In addition, gives him 50% of the profit. So the fact that he worked, so they do the 50-50. That's the idea of the 50-50. That we talk about Isco. But he needs to gain something with the fact that he worked in the 50% that belongs to Reb Elazar. So he gave him the head. The wife of this worker told him, maybe don't just let him put the money. You put also money. You become a partner in the business. Give some of the equity. And then not only you'll get the head, you'll get also the tail. So Pashas, we're sure discuss what did the wife think, but the Pashas shot is this wife made a mistake. She thought, you're getting the head if you don't put any equity. If you put equity, you'll get not only the head, you get the tail as well. Also, Zovin Be'adeh, so he bought with them. They became partners. Poliglay Maliso, when they got to the tail, they split it half and half. Omalei Ton Niflig Laratius. Okay, now let's split the head. Omalei says this sharecropper to Reb Elazar. Hashtag Koran Nami Loi. So now you're not even giving me what we used to do until now? When I didn't do equity, you gave me 50% of the profit, plus you gave me the head. Now that putting money into it as a partner, you give me only 50% of the profit, I'm not even getting the head. Until now, the money was mine. If I don't give you a little bit more, why are you working? Because 50% is yours, you're making the profit on that. That's a loan. If you work for me, that's the ribis. That's a problem of Isra. Now we're partners. So we split half and half. My call my tarachet fei portae. You say, yeah, but I'm working more than you. I mean, stam ariso lemayo oro kamishtab nafshe lasur lerayo. Yeah, that's the job of a sharecropper. I mean, the way we divide, even though we both put the money in, you are working as a sharecropper. That's your title. You put money. To understand, if they're putting 50%, why he's the sharecropper and he's not. Maybe the pshat is that he's giving a little bit more money in the equity. It's not so clear why the title, the sharecropper, goes to the second person. But he's saying, you're the sharecropper. A sharecropper, that's his job. The job is you go and you make sure to feed the animals, and we don't go buy food. You go and graze them in the field. That's one of the jobs. So I don't have to pay you more. We're now partners 50-50. You are you're the shepherd. As a shepherd, you need to go and take care. You're the sharecropper. You're the one who's responsible. That's your job. That's how we split the responsibilities. Your responsibility is, as the partner, to go around and feed the animal. You're not getting paid for that. It's not a loan anymore. I don't have to pay you. So this comes here. The story just emphasizes the point that in order to avoid ribis, a person sometimes will get more when he doesn't have skin in the game. So a person goes and gives an animal to his friend, meaning that what they do is the similar thing, isko. He gives an animal, he takes care of it, 50-50 thing, and now the animal has vlogus. Until how long, so before we'll get to vlogus in a moment, but how long does he have to take care of this animal before he gives it back? So he says, talk about mules, 18 months. Big guy do is 24 months. So when they do this responsibility, you're responsible to take care of this amount of time. If the receiver says, Rashi learned the receiver, talk about the receiver, he brings another pshat that he's doichet, that we're talking about the giver. So the receiver says, let's split. So the giver says, no, you're not doing it. You're going to have to take care for 2 years. But it's not as similar working the first year and the second year. So more, what does it mean? Aval, my aval. What do you mean aval? But elo, not aval, elo. the tipul shishon acheres, meaning in the second year it's much more work. So when Reuben gives Shimon the money, says, "Here's the money. You take the animal. You'll be responsible for the work, and we will split." Now Shimon after 1 year says, "I'll give it back to you." He says, "No, I'm sorry. The hard work, the bigger work, is the second year. So you need to be with this animal for 2 years. That's part of the deal. The deal is now you're going to take the first year, which is the easier year, and then you give it back to the second year. The second year is a much harder year. It's a much more difficult year to work. The main reason why I agreed to this deal, where we're splitting 50-50 the profit, is because I know you're going to take care of the second year. So you can't come give it back before the end of the second year." Tanya, another brayso, so Asham be'imel chaver, the person goes and does the isko with an animal. Matai chayav the top of the vlodos. How long does he have to take care of the vlodos, the children that are born? So similar bedako shloshim, meaning he's taking care of the animal. You have the vlodos are not part of the deal. The vlodos doesn't have to take care of the vlodos. He took care of the animal, not the vlodos. So what do you do with the vlodos? Rashi says, just to see, look at the second line of Rashi. You divide them too. We're not taking any profit on the vlodos. So the animal is working on to get some portion of it, and now he's splitting everything, split half and half. Also the vlodos. So he says, "Okay, take your half." So there is a certain amount of time you have to take care of the vlodos where they're still attached to the mother, as if considered to be they're not born yet completely. What is it? Badak or a small animal, 30 days. Rashi says that's how you have to do with a b'chor too. Before you give a b'chor to a kohen, you have to take care of it for this amount of days. Badak or supposed to be 3 months. In a small animal, a weak animal, we have to. There's a lot of work with it. She has very thin teeth. She needs to nurse from the mother. After that, if the lender, the giver of the money, doesn't want to take the vlodos, so then he takes 50%, is the borrower takes 50%, which is his, because they split everything, and 50 of the 50 of his friend, because now I'm working on your vlodos too. So now the vlodos become like my animal. Like the first animal that I'm taking 50% of the profit, now the vlodos are also taking 50% of the profit. Raminashur by Gado, Shoko Metzia Shaloi, Vechatzi Metzia Shechaver. So, Rashi did that, so he did. He took care of 50% of his own, and a 50 of it, 25%, and a 50 of the 50, the friend takes 50%. 50% of that he took as the work that he's working in, as we learn right now. So says the Gemara, also coming to Abaye, when the front of Abaye, only man palachok. Who's the one to divide for you? You need to do a shumo. You need to do a measure. You can't just do it on your own. You need to come and value it and make sure you're not taking too much. In addition, you're supposed to take care of it, of the kids. Because this is a place where the norm is, that's part of the deal. That he takes care of the vlodos of the children. We're going to see it on the base, the Mishnah, whenever that's the responsibility to be megadol the vlodos, that's what he has to do. There's two kusim. They did the one came and split the money between the two. That was the deal. What's the problem? Money is already split. We have your $200. I took 100, you took 100. Doesn't matter if I come and tell you I'm taking 100. We know exactly what the split is. The Shana next year, they bought wine together. So the other guy, the one who was cheated the year before, was not asked when they split the money, he went and split the wine. Also, came in front of a papa. You have to come and value it, measure it. You can't just take half. Only I see you don't like me, says the Kusi. Last year you said when he took the money, he was fine that he split it. Now that I took the wine, you don't let me split the wine. Omar Papa answers a Papa. Ki I gavno vadai tzorich lo do it. Why? You have to tell him. Zuzi mishokel tov v'shavik chasir by money. Can I say I'm taking the good money, taking the bad money? Money is money. $200, you take 100, I take 100. There's no way to cheat. Chaver, but wine, kula alme, yad, everybody knows, the there is wine which is better and wine which is not better. So the wine you can't just split it. Some wine is good, some wine is not good. Some wine is in a better quality, some wine is not better, you have to come and evaluate. So money is like as if it's split, it's a fair split. Tavi or tekuli. Actually, there's two types of coins. Tavi is good ones, which are very easy to use in the market. Tekuli are heavy ones that you use for weight. So if all the money is the good money, the ones that go by itself, you can split it. If all the money are the heavy money, you can split it. About Tavi and Tekuli, but you have good and weight, loy, because then you have to value. What's the value of each one? Chamo rented out money for money. He thought over here, you can use my money, give me a rental. He thought because you're renting it, it's not avo. So says the Gemara, leyoima, very quickly, kol zuz dar chamo, he lost his money. Now, as Rashi points out, that's how the Meroim acted. If the money is lost, that means the Kosh Baruch is setting a sign. What's the sign? Something was wrong. What was wrong over here? Who's sover my shtami mar? What's the difference between this and more? More means an axe. If I lend someone my kli, what's the problem? If I rent it, mara, you return the actual item. In addition, it loses value. Rashi learns the diapakte is an additional thing that happens once you use the axe for a little bit. So you lose its value. It loses something. So when you're renting it for the fact that the guy's going to return it back to you, and it's going to lose some of its value, so that's why it's being rent for it. Zuz, you don't give the same money back. You give a different money. Even if you give the same money, the money is the same money. The money doesn't lose value. So if you're paying for it, it's ribbis. That's why ribbis is different. Those a little differently, but that's our rationals. A person can tell his friend, Reuben goes to Shimon and tells him, do me a favor. Please lend money to Levi. I'll give you some money. Here, take $10, lend $100 to that guy. He's going to give you back 100. You made 110. Ribbis is only if the borrower pays it, not if someone else pays it. The Torah 3 adds what we saw in the beginning of the parak, because the definition of ribbis by deraiso is neshech v'sarbis. The borrower needs to lose and the lender needs to gain. Here, the borrower did not lose anything, so therefore it's okay. This is another thing. A person can go to his friend and say, Levi could go to Reuben and say, Shakalach arba zuzi, take 4 zuz. He gives Reuben some money. Reuben, do me a favor. Tell Shimon to lend me money. My time is chayar mir kashol. Just taking money for Reuben is getting money for the fact that he spoke to Shimon. That's okay. Abba, who's the son of Rabba. He would take an item. Rashi says, it's like type of a wax they put in small kiln. He used to take these waxes. They went to the father and said, Father, lend him money. So he got some benefit for arranging the loan. Your son is enjoying the ribbis. The first one to say, maybe because he's the son of the father, so they consider to be one. There's no problem with this. It's only ribbis coming from the loy v'lemalveh. Here, he's getting money for the fact that he made the deal. He's the broker. He's getting a broker commission. Here, according to Torah 3, is very gishmak. The borrower is losing money. He has neshech. But there's no tarbis by the malveh. The one who gets the money is the broker, and therefore there's no problem. Just to mention that in the Ramah, there's brought another case. The L'chur is not in the argument. He wants to say, there's a sheet of the Rishonim brought down the Mordche, that a malveh can give ribbis to a loive if there's a third party in between, if there's a shliach. The bar could go to, let's take our case. Levi goes to Reuben and tells him, I want a loan from Shimon. Reuben takes the money from Shimon, gives it to Levi. Levi pays back to Shimon through Reuben. He gives Reuben the money with ribbis. You can give ribbis if you have a third party involved. And that is Merab Seigra. Everybody asks, our Gemara doesn't bring this case. Why should that be a regular ribbis? So in the Shor Machshav on this daf, we bring where Reuben Margolius explains a beautiful explanation, Ayin Sham. So the Mishnah. Shamin poro v'chamor v'koldova shuoyse v'haychel mechza. Anything that works and produces, so you split it. Cow, donkey, etc. So here is our case of the cow and donkey, meaning the lender gives the borrower the cow and donkey, they split the profits, and in the meantime, the cow and the donkey is working for the borrower. So that's his compensation, the work. Wherever you split the vlogs right away, you divide it. And we said before, after 30 days, 50 days, depends on the type of animal. If you raise it, you have to raise it until then, that's part of the deal. That's what we mentioned on Munalf. That we saw also in the previous daf, that you take the egel, the calf with its mother, the small goat with its mother, meaning if you take care of the mother, you take care of the kid as well, because it doesn't take you more of a work. You add to the field with no problem ribis. What does that mean? The Gemara right away addresses it. Says the Gemara right away. Keitza, what's the case? Someone rents a field from his friend. He's going to pay him 10 kor per year. Tell me my time zuz, tells the lender, accept the field, give me another 200 zuz. And I will be able to, I will improve the field. I'm going to give you more. Instead of giving you 10 kor for the field, I'll give you 12 kor from the field. Mutter. That's not a problem of ribis. Why? Because this is added to the field. He's giving him a field, and then he's giving him the expenses of the field to make the field better. So now the field is producing more. So he's giving more of the field to the lender. Aval, ain't mafis, he can't do that. Not for a store, not for a ship. What does it mean to a store in the ship? To add merchandise to. Then you're not adding to the value of the store, to the value of the ship. So you know what I want to take the ship, and now please give me money for the merchandise, and I'll give you back more. That is a problem of ribis. Look at what Rashi. Rashi says, he went from a store, or it's a boat. Can't borrow from him money to give him to buy fruits, and to sell in the store, or merchandise to put in the boat. He'll pay more for the rent. He's not paying, he's not adding to the value of the store, he's not doing a capital improvement. So to increase value to the store, the boat, the added value is not for the boat or the store. He's just getting for the fact that he's getting more money. So that's considered to be ribis. It could be that you do add a capital improvement for the store. What's the case? When you make a nice shape in the store, you make a nice construction. You want to put in the sail. People will be interested to go in the store, and it's a beautiful design, and there'll be more money. If the boat sails well, because the sail is better, so that's why you can get more, and that's why this is fine. This is considered to be the right thing this is considered to be the proper thing to do, because it's, again, capital improvement. So he's giving you money for the capital improvement, and then you're getting you rent more because the actual item became better. Says the Gemara, Omar Rav. It says more sfinto for the boat. Omar Rav agro pagro. What's agro pagro? You pay for the rent. And pagro, you also, a person can take responsibility. If the boat breaks, he pays for the damages. Omar Rav Kari Rav Rav. If he's paying for the rent, he should not pay for the loss. And if he's paying for the loss, he should pay for the rent. If you do both, the chutz here considered to be ribis. You're taking something, you're responsible to give it back as a loan, plus you're paying rent. Shosi Rav was quiet. My time was Shosi Rav was silent. Didn't he heard the price? So I'll be showing him you can't take tzoy barzla as the idea, you'll learn later. Tzoy barzla means that you take animals and you make sure that there's no loss for the person. You can take it from Goy. Someone values the cow for his friend. I am going to make sure that if I don't give you back the cow, I'll give you back shloshim dinar. In addition, I will pay for the rent. I'll pay you sell it every month. Mutter. He didn't make money on it. So when we learn, he didn't value with money. Lawyer, sorry, just say he didn't do value in it. Meaning, while the animal is alive, I'm just giving you rent. You're not getting anything else. Now, if the animal dies, I pay for the animal. That's fine, because it's only in the case of death. So that's not considered to be a problem of ribis. And the same thing with the boat. You pay for the boat, for the rent of the boat, not for any damages. If the boat breaks, then you pay for it. So that should be fine. You pay for the rent, you pay for breaks. And the more says the final down from the top, for the meaning of Bnei Kurva is when you take the boat, you pay for the rent. When the prag you pay when it breaks. Says the Gemara. In other words, even though you pay for the rent, you'll still pay prag when it breaks. So what mean there's a minhag? If it's a problem of ribis, it's not a minhag. Because it's brought down the brisa that you could do it, then that's not considered to be ribis because it's only the case of a loss, of complete loss, and not for any damages. So in general, the rent is being paid for regular damages. So regular usage is being paid by the rent. Only a complete loss, that's what you're paying. The brisa says mutar. That's why the minhag was to do that based on this brisa. So we'll stop over here, continue from here in the next half.